damage on the side of Rebellion Zion. But again, we'll have to see how they try to make it work. It's an Inspire and a Wilderness for the Angela.
We're gonna see. EVOS, will they be able to clinch the playoffs? The journey starts now for Rebellion Zion versus EVOS Legends.
I think a lot of it is going to be shown in the early game, man. Who is going to have the early pressure? Who's going to cut? And EVOS, they're going very aggressively onto the EXP lane, cutting it, potentially going for something in the jungle. No, they just walk away.
Wait, do you see this composition? Rebellion Zion are trying to just out-sustain everything that EVOS Legends has. They have 3 Brave Smites on top of an Angela.
Yeah, this is the strategy we were expecting.
Oh, wow.
But
look at EVOS.
With a Joy, though, that's damage that can translate all the way to the late game, but usually not for the tank, so we'll see. There's a tenacity being built for Highs as well. He knows that he will be the main target, but even if he is taken out, if he can output a healthy amount of damage, there's a chance that Rebellion Zion will rely on the fighters to just do the rest.
Okay, but EVOS though, 4! Yes, that is 4 Wilderness. Even the gold laner that's supposed to stay in the lane still goes for that movement speed boost in the river and jungling area. Like, why is that the case, Arashi?
Well, faster movement speed in the jungle, in the river, never hurts anyone, right? Helps you with kiting, helps you with chasing. Usually it's not really picked up in favor of other things, but if you want to trade it out, if your plan is to group S5, right, get the man advantage, it's definitely a worthwhile investment, but you need to be aware that there is a trade-off.
Watch out for these neutral objective fights because I think EVOS Legends
Brands
have
might be there.
a big advantage. Here, Vincent locking Veldora down, trying to get a good trade in. Veldora gets chunked to half, but has regen.
That's the problem, the regen. The longer the game goes, even in small skirmishes like that, you get down to half HP, and Renbu on this Angela can just spam out the healing, and you're good to go. 3v4 for EVOS right now. They're going to try and go for it. They want to try and use a penalty zone.
They
try and get an advantage.
And the hard guard will be used up. Vincent jumps in, but now gets pulled back by the Divine Judgment. And Sutsujit picks up the turtle. Now penalty zone onto Card, who still has the bravest fighter. Out damaging, out sustaining right now, but Greg does the same thing to the back line. Meanwhile, Renbu and Vincent with an Appraiser's Wrath to claim first blood. Taunting Van Strong up, winning in the long team fight. And Van Strong will have to flap his wings to the other side of the map.
Gotta say, man, I don't get it. I think it's very unnecessary to go for more once you secure that turtle, especially after the Divine Judgment is gone. But we're gonna see the Talents prediction brought to you by Samsung Galaxy S23 Series 5G. A whole lot of blues, but 2 for them is for EVOS.
Shevin very kindly is accompanying Papulung, but Sutsujin now going aggressive. Does not get it.
It's Renbu who gets it. At least it isn't the enemy jungler, I think is what Rebellion Zion is saying to themselves. Let's take a look at the town prediction ranking here. All the way at the top, it's Gani still with 64.13%.
59 points at that too. He is like the god of addiction, man.
Well, Shevin's on there as well. Me and Mirko, nowhere to be seen as of right now.
It's the curse.
It's the curse. But for Rebellion, they're going to try and start leveraging this early fighter potential. Definitely try and go for the jungle, but Vincent!
Heavy crossbow coming down. Vincent might be caught here. That's a good taunt right now. The Appraiser's Wrath not there just yet. He gets suppressed by the Divine Judgment. And he gets locked down before he can even take it out on EVOS Legends.
Bit of an overextension from Vincent there. Not respecting the potential DPS in early game for Bronzes as well as Sutsujin and Joy.
Well, in the early game, it's going to be a bit lackluster. In the late game, though, I do feel like Irithel, not really as much damage as the other more popular options in the MPL right now. So, in a way, EVOS Legends are the ones fighting against the clock before Rebellion Zion gets too tanky. And you can expect that in the inventories, there's going to be a lot of healing reduction, Dominance Ices, Necklace of Durances as well.
Another turtle fight for Jola to control.
Bravest fighter though, already used up by Cars, stunning Veldora up, but look at EVOS Legends. It's a 5-man rotation onto the turtle right now, but Vincent still gets it somehow, some way. RDTZ with I'm offended, penalty zone coming down into the back line right now as the Appraiser's Wrath locks them down, and they're able to escape. Van Strong still having the Divine Judgment. Cars respects it, flickers out, and Rebellion Zion win out on the trade.
Win out in all of the trades. Brands is also there as well. Meanwhile, Heisemore in the top lane getting all the turrets. This is very bad. Even the Brands using their wilderness to get into the turtle quite fast. It's 5v4.
Turret?
I think it's worth. Especially the one who got it was Rebellion, right?
Yeah, everything for Rebellion. The
Yeah.
turtle, the turrets as well. And like I said, as the closer we get to the mid game, the more Rebellion Zion will start going aggressive. You're seeing the damage from EVOS Legends fall off a bit. And for Rebellion, the exact opposite. They're surviving longer and longer. And soon, even with the Divine Judge, they just have to wait for the Divine Judgment to come out first and then hard guard whoever's getting pulled back.
Wait a second. That's an I'm offended.
Oh.
Vanstrong using Divine
Engage.
Judgment onto ODTZ. What? Bravest Fighter to the back line right now. Vanstrong has made a big mistake, and Rebellion capitalized on it. Jumping on the right, taunting him up, locking him down. ODTZ coming down with the Appraiser's Wrath. Bonks his head. Krite has been taken out, assassinated by the fighter in the jungle. Now Brands in the bottom lane, getting chunked down. The stacks are placed down, but it's an outplay from Brands. ODTZ gets a kill back, but it's still a big W for the Blue Bulls.
Big W, especially it's a gold laner we're talking about here. As an Irithel, you have to snowball in the early game to get those items, to get those damage going. But right now, EVOS Legends, they're behind about 1k gold lead, as Brands didn't have a good time there.
The fighter composition, man. 2 fighters, jungle and EXP. Usually for Rebellion, we saw the strat where they went with a fighter in the mid lane as well, but they're doing the exact same thing with this Angela pick. Soon, they can just dive like that with very little consequences if they use the hard guard on the right member. So for EVOS, the Divine Judgment is nullified technically by the Angela. I think they have to rely on the penalty zone, and even then, it's a lot easier said than done, and they might not have enough damage right now.
Wait, Jin is still 2 levels ahead of Vincent with the help of the conceal. Penalty zone coming down. Vincent still gets it! What? I'm offended, locking 2! Cars, no Bravest Fighter. Vanstrong with the flicker, Divine Judgment, but Vincent finds the count. This is Jin. Probably getting a stun right now. The Bravest Fighter. ODTZ gonna be taken down, but look at it back! Rebellion charging through! Winning a team fight! Wiping the Tigers out!
They rebel against the masses. As EVOS Legends, I don't get it. There's just too much overextension there. What was Brands doing going into the midst of a team fight, amidst of CC and damage?
They just have no idea what to do right there. Let's take a look at the instant replay by the Samsung Galaxy S22
Everyone's
Series
scattered.
5G.
Wow.
Everyone's crowding together, and when you're against fighters, that is the last thing you want to do. Slowly but surely, there comes all the sustain, and the Appraiser's Wrath just knocks 2 people out completely. And after the main damage dealers are gone, there's no way EVOS Legends can match up to it. They have to buy some more time to get more items on Brands, more damage, and also more healing reduction. Look at Rebellion Zion's HP bars in the previous fight. No one went below 50%.
It is insane. It is insane. I think that's more of an EVOS fault rather than Rebellion Zion doing a great team fight. They did a good team fight, but it feels like the Tigers is handing them their life on a platter.
I mean, wow, I'm shook. Rebellion Zion with this composition. We've seen so many compositions with only 1 sole magic damage dealer, and that magic damage dealer being the Angela. And I think almost every single time, if that's the composition, the team loses. Rebellion are making it work in this new patch.
In the mid game though, that's always the way it goes. Maybe in the late game, we'll see EVOS Legends get a bit of an advantage because of that. But for now, with the Flash of the Oasis finish for Renbu as well, you can expect even more healing. And EVOS Legends have not found any huge power spikes. They need to be a bit more averse, a bit more careful with picking their fights here, as Heist picks up a Malefic Roar as well.
And it's hard to be careful at this point, right? Because the frontliner is Cars, ODTZ, and Vincent. If you get a Divine Judgment onto one of those 3, I don't think it's gonna work. And Vanstrong just...
Oh my
another
God.
one.
Oh, they're committing onto it. That's a torn apart memory. And a Bravest Fighter. And say goodbye to Vanstrong.
And you might have to say goodbye to the Lord too, as Vincent just keeping up the tempo. 10-2 right now, 5k gold lead. 9 minutes has elapsed, and so far EVOS is not making anything work. Nothing is working.
Well, Vanstrong now 0 and 3. This is the problem. Who exactly is Vanstrong supposed to target? Because the one dealing damage, the members that are destroying the backline, is the Lapu Lapu and the Fredrin, right? So if you leave them alone, they have enough sustain anyway. So even if you just lock them down, it doesn't guarantee that you'll be able to take them down. Looking at the items right here, Radiant Armors for both Vincent as well as Audi TZ. They can stay in the front for as long as required, dealing, and that item works well against both Sutsujin and Krite on the Joy and the Valentina.
I mean, the good news is Sutsujin is not... He's been keeping up with the jungling as a Joy, but Audi TZ once again.
I'm offended onto Van Strong right now. No Divine Judgment just yet. Turn apart memory! Highs! Picks the kill up now. Brands, heavy crossbow. Defensively, Cars in the bottom lane, zoning Veldora away as he gets some healing from Renbu, who's on top of Vincent. Lord charging down in the bottom lane. Still with the passive, EVOS Legends should be able to defend this bottom lane turret. Mid lane, however, is a different story here as they have clumped up. Veldora with the penalty zone on the 3 members, but look at the sustain coming down for the side of Rebellion Zion. Even Sutsujin is unable to do anything to turn up our memory. Takes him out with the help of the Bravest Fighter slash from Cars.
Oh man, Heist more like Heist, where's your armor? Right now he's been decimating all the frontliners of EVOS Legends, even Van Strong. I thought he could get away with it, but the Turnabout memory plus the passive from BOD just gets him.
It's a great synergy, right? Your fighters deal damage, and then the secure comes from the very long-range torn apart memory. It's a bit of great combination, but unfortunately for them, they're still unable to take down any base turrets, so EVOs are still in this. But what can they do? They're so behind, 8k gold difference. Looking at the player's gold by Ube as gold, the closest is Sutsujin. Brands also getting shut down, almost matched by Renbu on an Angela.
And I like the aggression from Cars, right? Because, like, I know that he's probably just gonna pressure the inhibitor turret there, but he's not really shy to use that Bravest Fighter, knowing that he's 306 right now with a lot of gold. He's not gonna be able to get bursted down quite easily when EVOS doesn't have any damage to deal with. This is what probably Banana should have done in RQ vs Kick Fam just now. Just not shy to pull the trigger.
I think the main problem for EVOS Legends is they only have one Dominance Ice, Arashi. It's only, you'd expect 3 Brave Smite and Angela for more Dominance Ices here. Maybe for the Kaja as well. He's building towards it, so we're not wrong about that. They are in desperate need of another Dominance Ice.
Yep. I think they were just stunning really hard on the fact that they have a Kaja, so they need damage in order to go for a pickoff. But here's the problem right now. Whoever gets jumped on gets hard guarded, so they won't have any damage to really secure the deal anyways. And with their attempts so far, in 12 minutes, Van Strong is 0 and 4.
Oh, this is
he
so
is so behind right now that he can't really stand in the front and tank any damage at all. Even though technically, like you mentioned, there isn't really a source of magic damage. Rebellion Zion, they'll be going for the Lord, and EVOS Legends have to settle with a trade on the top side.
The only thing they can find there, man. By the way, I don't know if Heist did that on purpose. He tapped the torn apart memory. I think he was trying to look for people as well around the bush there, trying to get some vision. So with the tap of the torn apart memory, there's only one that goes to the Lord. He knows that there's no one around there. I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, here's the main problem for Rebellion as well. Now that they are at the base, EVOS Legends can turtle up. They have wave clear. They have quote-unquote disengage using the penalty zone as well. So Rebellion Zion, they have to try and go for a very decisive dive, which is very risky with the turrets in play, or just buy some time, get some more farm advantage, and then go for a play with the next Lord, not this one.
Dominance Eyes has been bought for Van Strong, a bit more utility in the team fight. But on the other hand, Immortality has been bought too by Audi TZ, which makes things even worse for Van Strong to go for, because this is probably the front liner that you want to go for and just get some turret aggro onto him. Audi TZ is just, he's not scared at all of Flicker. He can pull me off and it's still a W for me.
See the charge in the bottom lane, slow push, brilliantly done by Rebellion Zion. Cars in the mid lane's only 3 members away right now with the Bravest Fighter. Vincent with a hard guard, an absolute menace, just walking up top lane. Going to be targeted down by the Blue Bulls right now, and it's going to be free. Another base turret down. EVOS Legends have dealt with the siege, but they lose so much.
Slowly but surely, they're stripping off the Tiger's Claw with its horn. They just don't want to, you know, pour everything off and make mistakes, because a blunder can cost you a lot of things. Because as we know, no magic damage, that means in the late game it's going to be a bit easier for you to deal with, because itemization is going to be more easier too, especially from the frontliners of EVOS Legends.
Look at the frontliners though, if you think about it, right? That means that Bronze has only a very specific source of damage to worry about. That could still be an advantage by all means, but that's the main question. Even if you don't really have to build any magic defense, what are you going to do against the two fighters jumping straight at you? Brands throughout this game hasn't been able to output a lot of damage, and he's zoned away by a lot of the potential threat, not even the actual damage coming in from Rebellion Zion. They're extending the lead now to 9k gold difference, and by taking the top and bottom base turrets from EVOS Legends, this means that once the next Lord spawns, they can just play it out, wait it out, and wait for the waves to push in their favor. So EVOS Legends are the ones that have to try and find something before that happens, right? When everyone is scattered like this, and maybe, just maybe, Vanstrong can find something for his team.
It's hard though. I think it depends more on Rebellion Zion rather than EVOS Legends, whether Vanstrong can pull off a solid pull, a solid Divine Judgment to the preferred member of Rebellion Zion, because at this point, if Rebellion Zion somehow got picked off, I think that it's more their fault.
And they end up winning a 1-0.
Oof, that's an ammo fighter missing onto Susujin as well. And can you believe it, man? Rebellion Zion, they are using the Ruby to counter the Joy, but Susujin ain't out of it just yet. Cars, though, stands in the way.
Beautiful stun onto Vanstrong, chained in, but look at the shutdown. Brands able to gun him down right now. Hand torn apart. Memory onto Grind Highs, taken out of the play. Vincent secures, no, he didn't secure the Lord. EVOS Legends, they're one step closer to reclaiming this game. Audi TZ getting ran down by Brands right now as Susujin goes into 1v1 with Vincent. Audi still running away. Brands getting the movement speed from the Quantum Charge, but needs to put his sights onto the Lord. It's all on Vincent right now against Susujin, Brands, and Veldora. He doesn't have the penalty zone. He jumps in and finds it. Vincent unable to secure it. Appraiser's Wrath dodged away from EVOS Legends. They have fought their way out of that lead from Rebellion.
Susujin masterclass, targeting the backline of Renbu, targeting the perfect target possible. Heisemore too, caught lacking, not respecting the initial damage from Bronze.
That is crazy. EVOS Legends found something. Rebellion just fought the fight for a bit too long, man. With the fighters, right? You're so reliant on your skills, on your ultimates, especially for Cars and the Lapu Lapu. Without everything available, they just kept walking towards EVOS Legends and allow them to kite back and apply damage slowly but surely. They should understand that without a solid damage dealer like an Irithel, the long drawn-out fights is the last thing that you want. Now, they're gonna lose a bunch of base turrets. Well, a bunch of turrets, but maybe even the base turrets, considering that they don't really have that high ground, right? That magic damage to clear out the waves.
And just like that, from 9k gold lead to 2k behind, it's an 11k turnaround, courtesy of a single team fight from EVOS Legends, and they're looking for more.
Vanstrong with the conceal. Has the flicker, can go for it, but Vincent is holding the front line. Cars as well, with the Bravest Fighter into the mid lane, trying to hold it off. Rebellion's doing a good job at clearing it right now, only losing one base turret, but in the bottom lane, there's another wave crashing down, helping the siege for EVOS as Audi TZ moves forward. Penalty zone! Veldora catches 3! Susujin dives in deep right now, getting taunted back as Hypothetic connects onto Vanstrong, but Brands is free hitting in the back. Now only 3 members left for the Blue Bulls. Torn apart Memory onto Veldora, not dealing enough damage right now as Vanstrong, Cars! Into the back with a brave first fighter. Brand's still able to escape, but that might have just done it for Rebellion Zion, the defense. So Susujin gets out with a dash, finds the immortality. EVOS Legends, one last push, but they don't have the health bars. That's a penalty zone, locking Highs down, he takes them out. Cars and Renbu versus the world. Cars, the bravest fighter, once again getting a 2-man stop right now, but the hard guard comes in clutch. That's a hard guard as well. Cars against the world, loses the immortality, and Renbu falls as well. Despite the winner truncheon, EVOS Legends have turned it around.
The mentality of the Tigers, showing their facts, showing the claws to the bulls. A lot of disrespect from Rebellion Zion, taking the team fights that they're not supposed to go for.
An epic comeback for the Tigers, proving that once again they are on top of the food chain despite what the standing says. A hardcore comeback right there, and Rebellion pay the price for their very early game oriented playstyle. It looked so good, but it only takes one moment. That is MPL ID.
MPL Indonesia, a lot of unexpected things happen here, miracles happen here. We've seen how EVOS Legends can bounce back from 2-0 in the last playoffs, even against RRQ. A lot of floors against their favor.